Hello everybody and welcome to my impressions video for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Man, it feels good to be able to make videos for the channel again after so long, so let's just get right down to it. Dragon Ball Z FighterZ is a 3v3 traditional style fighting game made by Arc System Works, the same developers behind the fantastic Guilty Gear and BlazBlue series. This game was made using the engine that they used for Guilty Gear XR, which takes 3D models and works them into a style that makes them look like very detailed 2D models, which is very reminiscent to the anime style, and it makes every character look like they were ripped straight out of the show itself. The characters all animate very fluidly and are very pleasing to look at. All the hit sound effects and all the hit sparks are all very well designed, and basically it's just ticking all of the right boxes for the visual and sound department. Gameplay has very little controller lag, so you always feel in control as you fight, which is very important because these fights can get very hectic, especially at high levels. Now as far as the controls go, they're more of a mixed bag for me. They control the same way you would expect the Arc System game to control, which is the 4-button layout, the light, mediums, the heavies, but they do have one button assigned strictly for the fireballs, or key blasts if you prefer. Now don't get me wrong, I have no problem playing with this button layout. I always have and still enjoy the Guilty Gear series. My problem lies more with the decision to include auto combos into the system. Now Arc System Works have always included auto combos in their other games, more noticeably BlazBlue, but in those games that control type was always segregated to a simple mode, which was selectable when you chose a character. But in this game you have no choice but to use the system, and some of the characters' moves are even locked behind the light or medium auto combo attacks. This is great for the people who are DBZ fans and never really played a fighting game before, and then they're just looking for something fun and easy to pick up. But this system has very little to offer for experienced fighting game players, since there's very little combo options, thus making the whole system feel very shallow and making your combo expression feel very limited in comparison to the other fighting game titles in the market. At high levels, all these flashy attacks dissolve into pretty much the same combo string for every character, thus taking the wind out of themselves pretty early for this game. So basically, if you want high damage combos, but optimized damage combos, you have to stick to one combo that does the most damage and just do that until a character dies. Overall, there's not much to the gameplay, but what it is there is pretty fun to play. The first thing you'll notice when you boot up this game is that there are no traditional menus. The developers decided to go with an open lobby system which you control an avatar and walk to any destination you'd like, as well as interact with other players. Now let's talk about the variety of modes this game has to offer, starting with the traditional arcade mode. With a very interesting branch system, you will follow a path depending on how high your score is set and the grade you get at the end of a fight. There's also a story mode that I haven't really touched yet, but I heard it's pretty decent length and entertaining enough. But I want to save my reaction for when me and the guys do a playthrough of that story mode, which will be coming soon. The tutorial works well enough in teaching you the basic, but leaves you to discover any advanced tech for yourself, just showing you enough to get the ball rolling. They have also included a trial mode, but it's nothing too special. 5 trials to each character that can be done relatively quickly depending on your skill level. There's even a shop in the lobby where you can spend the money that you've earned on a variety of things. The game has microtransactions in it in the form of Z coins. But luckily, nothing big is hidden behind the paywall, mostly lobby avatars and new colors for the roster. And considering the game rewards you with in-game currency for doing just about anything, you shouldn't have to actually pay for something unless you don't have the patience to grind. Last but not least, let's talk about the online modes. Multiplayer modes are usually the key to fighting games' long-term survival, and I'm happy to report that DBZF's online is good enough to have a good steady connection with little to no lag. But there are times where the game runs terrible, and that's mostly because players using Wi-Fi to play. Remember people, wired connections save lives. The Ethernet cable is only about $3, so just go out and get one. You'll save yourself a lot of trouble and also your opponent. But moving on, we have 3 online modes to choose from, these being ranked, casual, and arena mode. Ranked is what you would expect. You defeat your opponents to gain points and climb the leaderboards. Casual is a friendly online match with no points on the line. I recommend starting here if you like to learn on the go as I do. It's a nice way to practice against actual people without the pressure of losing points. And as of this recording, Arena match has been shut down because there was a glitch discovered. So unfortunately at this moment it is unplayable. If you dive straight into the online, beware that this game is currently suffering from numerous rage quits. And fighters at low level can be a pain in the ass to deal with, since it's very easy to mash your way to victory in this game because of the auto combo system. But if you stick it out, higher ranked players, you'll find better quality matches and you'll start to enjoy this game a lot more. The cast is filled with characters you expect from throughout the series, going all the way to DBZ Super. The usual suspects like Goku and Vegeta are in, even their Super Saiyan Blue versions made it in as completely separate characters that you get for pre-order in the game, but they are also unlockable in the game. Supporting characters like Piccolo, Yamcha, Krillin, and Tien are also given their chance to shine as well as various villains from Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. Each character is different enough to make them feel unique, but just similar enough so you won't have to go out of your way to pick them up, which really helps when assembling your team. Overall, DBZ FighterZ is a blast to play. There's enough to entertain fighting game fans and anime fans alike. Its low level of entry is very inviting to newcomers, but like every game you play, you get back what you're willing to put in it. If anything, play the game for the experience. It is truly a visual spectacle, and the first true fighter of the DBZ games. Arc System Works has done a fantastic job laying the groundwork for a very successful series of titles. The sky's the limit for the series. We'll just have to watch patiently and see where it goes.
鉄くずが今さら何人だ。貴様の力などいらんぞ。